This is so good. This is gonna be my lunch. Yum. Weekday mornings can be utterly chaotic. Am I right? You're trying to get off to work. You might have kids you need to get off to school. Who has time to make a big batch of low-carb pancakes? Well, guess what, my friends? You do. See this? This is a sheet pan. And this is your secret weapon for making healthy keto breakfasts. And today on All Day I Dream About Food, I'm gonna show you how to make sheet pan keto pancakes. I wrote this recipe several years ago and it became an instant hit. Because let's face it, it's so much easier than standing over a hot stove flipping individual pancakes. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is prep our sheet pan. So I have an 11 by 17 inch sheet pan here, and I'm going to grease it lightly with a little avocado oil. You can use coconut oil or olive oil as well. And just brush that all over the pan, getting up the sides as well. Now you want to take a nice big piece of kitchen parchment paper and line the sheet pan, and the oil will help it stick nicely. Then you're going to grease the parchment paper as well. And again, brush it all over, getting into the corners and up the sides. Now we can make the pancake batter. I like to use my high-powered blender to get it all really well combined, but you can do this in a bowl as well, just whisk very carefully. So we're gonna take 5 large eggs, and I've got 1 cup of, I'm using hemp milk. You can use almond milk or you can use any low-carb milk. I've got 6 tablespoons of melted butter and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And we'll just blend those up until very well combined. Okay, now we can add our dry ingredients. I have 3 cups of almond flour, and I've got 6 tablespoons of Swerve Sweetener. Now, you can really use any sweetener in this recipe because it doesn't rely on the sweetener for consistency. I will warn you, allulose may brown very quickly in the oven. I have 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, which I find really helps the consistency of the pancakes, and 1 full tablespoon of baking powder. And I don't have the salt. And I like to add about half a teaspoon of salt. And we'll blend that up until nice and smooth. Now we want to let our batter sit for a few minutes to thicken up and let the flours absorb the wet ingredients. The reason I like to use a blender for this recipe is because it really fluffs the batter a little more. Like I said, you can do it in a bowl, but if you do have a high-powered blender, it's a great way to make things like keto pancakes and waffles. After you've let it sit for a few minutes, all you need to do is pour it in your prepared pan. Ooh, that's a nice thick batter. And of course, the problem with doing it in a blender is you have to get everything out of the bottom of the blender. But it's worth it. Now we just want to spread our batter evenly in the pan, getting it all the way to the edges. Try to make sure you really do spread it out of the middle because the middle always tends to be a little higher. Okay, now once you have it nicely spread out throughout the entire sheet pan, you can decide what you like on your keto pancakes. Do you like chocolate chips? You can use chocolate chips. Do you like blueberries? You can use blueberries. Or you can do half and half. So I'm gonna do half with some chocolate chips on top and half with some blueberries on top. Ooh, those are cold. This way, and you know what? I've actually seen people with sheet pan pancakes do quarters. So this way, everybody gets a pancake that they like. And you can tell I've been hard at work doing this because my fingers are blue. That always happens with frozen blueberries. And there's our chocolate chips. And you know what? If you pop a few in your mouth, I won't tell. Okay, our sheet pan keto pancakes are ready for the oven. They go in at 400 for 12 to 15 minutes. You're looking for the edges to be golden and the top to be firm to the touch, right in the center. Okay guys, fresh hot pancakes right out of the oven. You can let them cool for a bit, but you can also dig right in, and that's what we're gonna do. Let's see, I think I'm going for some of the blueberry. And you can cut them as big or as small as you like. It makes about 15 decent sized pancakes. Just cut myself a little corner piece. And if you grease things nicely and you use parchment, it should come out pretty easily. Like that. Now, I love a little butter on my pancakes and some maple syrup. I have a great recipe for sugar-free maple syrup, but I don't have any of it at the moment. Oh, let's see. Butter's just melting on top perfectly. So right now I have a little bit of allulose maple syrup, which I actually really like too. Oh, look at that. Now that is breakfast. Oh, get a blueberry in there. That is fabulous. That is a wonderful weekday breakfast. The best part is you can make these sheet pancakes. That is so hard to say. You can make these sheet pan pancakes in advance and dole them out throughout the week. Just cut them up, stick them in the fridge, and grab one when you need one. For this make-ahead keto breakfast recipe and so many more, please check out alldayidreamaboutfood.com. I did that all in one take.